Oh, it is Sunday in the park, mid-July. It is warm and just so beautiful. How you doing? Today, I'm going to tell you a little story as I walk around in the park, just like I normally do. I always used to start off my comedy shows in the very same way. Hi, this is Kevin Michael Moore. I was born in Hollywood, California, and raised in Troutdale. And that will fuck anybody up. And usually got me going. But I realized I didn't talk much about that myself. Give myself a little intro. Thought I'd do so. Today we're going to talk about a funny little caper that an ex-girlfriend got me involved in. And I'll tell you, I've been engaged 3.5 times. Never married, no children. Always pretty much long-term relationship girlfriends. I'm serial monogamist, that's me. So I've kind of bounced around, and all of my exes are different. But if I were to find one thing that they all had in common, is that in one way or another they were excitable. Sometimes to a fault, excitable. And one ex-girlfriend, and I'll never name these ex-girlfriends, but she would get very excitable. And it was during a time period where I wasn't able really making my gig work for me, and I didn't want to have a job, and so I didn't have one, and I wasn't doing anything at all. She comes home from work and says, "You'll never believe this. I got us on ambush makeover." I'm like, "What?" She's like, I sent in a tape, and they accepted it, and we're on the show. I'm like, "Ambush makeover? Is this a TV show? Do I get paid for this?" And she's like, "Well, you'll get to keep all the clothes." I'm gonna stop it there for a minute. So, to continue on, this is one of the weirder parts of the park. This incredibly steep, very narrow staircase that I'm walking down with as much caution as I can. But where were we? Oh yeah, my girlfriend got me on ambush makeover. And I asked her, by the term ambush makeover, does that mean that I'm not supposed to know about it? And then she makes this really surprised and shocked face. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't supposed to know about it. And so I will tell you, some of my better acting I've ever done in my life is to convince this ambush makeover crew that's coming in that I'm actually surprised when they show up. Like, really, truthfully surprised, because they're candidly catching me on tape in this moment. And I think they bought it. I think they did. I knew like 2 weeks in advance this was going to go down. And so I let myself go. My hair was straggly, and not like it isn't always that way, but I wore my shabbiest clothes. And so they show up, and I do this show, and they basically, one of the major reasons why they decided to go with me and my ex was one, that I'm sure her video was very excitable, and two, I was running an open mic stand-up comedy show, and they thought, this is a good tie-in. Let's get the comic on the show. That's my profession. And so back that I let those folks get by over there. But anyway, they want to conclude the show by taking me down in a limo to the place where I do my comedy show, and for me to show up in this brand new visage of myself. And what was... It is one of these incredibly rude crews where just everyone's just a jerk, and mostly the host. The host, she's just terrible. She's just complaining about everything. What are we doing in Portland? I hate this town. And you didn't say that anyway. Even if you think it, you don't say it. It's just. But I knew that she was roundly hated because the rest of the crew, every time she'd leave the room, they'd flip her off, like in full view of me. But they gave me lines and they made me do things, and I knew they would, and I just sucked. One of the things was, you know, they put a cape on me when they colored my hair, and they wanted me to get up, swirl the cape, and say into the camera, "I'm makeover man." And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And then, like, you know, after enough cajoling, and you're on a national television set, you like acquiesce, you know. And the shame of it all is that when they broke the show up into a bumper, like a 10-second ad that would play in the city that the show was syndicated for, that's the bumper. "I'm makeover man." So I can't tell you how many times people came up to me and said, "Hey," and I'd see that twitch in their face, and I knew the next thing they were going to say, "How you doing, makeover man?" And I would try to beat them to the punch, but I didn't live that down for a long time. Why am I bringing it up now? This is one of those kind of stories where you just didn't think it all the way through, hon. You know, you got real excited to do this. You got the nod. The green light comes, and you come ripping back to the boyfriend and said, "Hey, guess what? I got some people coming over to surprise you on camera." Like, bad move. Anyway, but I love all my exes dearly. I do. They're all simpatico with me for the most part now. I can't think of anybody who isn't, and they're really part of my extended family. Many of them more so than others. I wish them well, and I hope to find somebody soon who's really excitable, because that seems to be my type. That's it for me. I will see you again on another day.